Oh, oh, shoot. Okay. Okay. So we have a few board members sick, and I am also recovering from a cold, so if I have to hide under the table to blow my nose, I apologize in advance. I might be sucking on a cough drops too because of my cough. So welcome to the Kinnelon Board of Education regular meeting for January 28th, 2025. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advanced notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of the Act, the Kinnelon Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published in the Suburban Trends on January 19th, 2025, posted on the Kinnelon Public Library, filed with the Borough Clerk, and posted on the district website. Barbara, could you roll call the board, please?
Mrs. Flinner. Here. Mr. Myers. Mrs. Perella. Here. Mr. Pepe.
Here.
Mrs. Portman. Mr. Eisenmanger.
Here.
Mrs. Donaldson.
Here. No closed session is needed. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Routine matters. We have approval of the minutes for the December 10th, 2024 regular meeting. Can I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion on the minutes? No? Okay, seeing no discussion required, could you roll call the board, please?
Mrs. Flinner.
Yes.
Mrs. Perella.
Yes.
Mr. Pepe.
Yes.
Mr. Eisenmanger.
Yes.
Mrs. Donaldson.
Yes. Student Representative Saloni?
Hi all, for anyone that doesn't know me, my name is Saloni and I'm here to share some accomplishments of the students from the halls of Kinnelon Public Schools. So starting with Kiel Cisco, it's been another awesome month at Kiel Cisco School. We had our Family Engineering Design Night sponsored by Keisha on January 9th. Our students built some pretty impressive roller coasters and rides in keeping with our amusement park theme. Next, our students did an absolutely incredible job performing in our first ever musical production, Disney's Frozen at KHS. It was breathtaking to see the outstanding talent come to life on stage. Thank you, Keisha, for sponsoring this special program for our students. Also, we had special guest author Jerry Pelota visit with Kiel Cisco students on Monday, January 13th. He's the author of the Who Would Win series. Our family had a blast at our pre-K to 5 skate night at Florham Park Roller Rink on Tuesday, January 14th. Also, we'd like to give many thanks to the PRM and KHS students who routinely visit Kiel to support students during special events and activities. We just had a special visit from our PRM mentors just this week. And lastly, from Kiel Cisco, we are very excited about the quickly approaching 100th day of school on February 6th. Our students will be participating in special activities throughout the day. I'd like to move on to Stony Brook next. Firstly, Happy New Year to all of our staff, students, and families. January has been a great month so far. Our 5th grade students took a trip to the Bueller Space Center. This trip allows the students to take on roles as if they were on a real-life space mission. Also, thank you to all of our K-5 families who attended our skate night. It was a wonderful evening. Next, thank you to the curriculum department, to our staff that presented, and to all staff members for their participation in our Ed Camp Professional Development Day on January 20th. It was a great day of learning for all. Also, our 5th grade business club students took a trip to KHS, where they had the opportunity to meet with students of the future business leaders of America. Our Stony Brook students were mentored by the FBLA members on business etiquette, resumes, and cover letters, interview skills, and career goals. The Stony Brook students were taught on the do's and don'ts on what to wear and what to bring to an interview, as well as how to conduct themselves professionally. Finally, the students took their own turn at interviewing in small groups, acting as the job applicants, with the FBLA members asking questions and acting as the interviewers. Thank you to Mr. Scheckman, Mrs. Gilligan, and the students of the FBLA for providing a wonderful experience for our students. Next, Stony Brook School is celebrating School Spirit Week during the week of January 27th. There will be daily activities for the students, and the week will end with staff members playing the 5th grade students in a kickball game. Good luck to all. We are also looking forward to our Keisha-sponsored 3rd dance, which will be held on February 7th, and our Keisha-sponsored 4th grade dance, which will be held on February 21st. And lastly, from Stony Brook, our 2nd annual Stony Brook Talent Show will be held on February 14th. So moving on to PRM, 6 of our students performed with the North Jersey Area Band on Saturday, January 11th at Mount Olive High School. We congratulate clarinet players Emilia Rechex and Michaela Gadaletta, bass clarinet player Isabella Holman, trombone players Richard Cho and John Fusa, and percussionist Colin Tobia. 4 of our students were accepted into the Morris Area Honor Choir and performed with other elite students, musicians, on January 18th. We congratulate Audrey Hershenson, Shreya Janwale, Savannah Mango, and Jacqueline Waller. Next, we held a pep rally on January 17th to show our school spirit and celebrate the student athletes on our winter sports teams, such as boys and girls basketball, wrestling, and robotics. Next, the first teen canteen of the year was held on January 24th. Our 6th grade students enjoyed a silent disco, a giant inflatable Hungry Hippos game, and other games and activities. We thank the PRM, HSA, and all of the volunteers who made this event possible. The 7th and 8th grade teen canteen will be held on March 14th. Next, the 7th and 8th grade winter dance will be held this Friday, January 31st. And last, interest meetings were held today for our PRM spring sports teams and the PRM talent show. Registration for spring sports is open until February 14th. And lastly, we have KHS. Zachary Kessler is Kinnelon High School's 2025 nominee for the prestigious New Jersey Governor's School Program in Engineering and Technology at Rutgers University. Statewide, only a select group of students will be chosen as finalists, so we wish Zachary the best of luck and congratulate him on representing Kinnelon High School so proudly. Congratulations to percussionists Luca Anello Florina and Michael Piccolo, who auditioned and were accepted into the prestigious New Jersey All-State Band. They will perform in the All-State concert at NJPAC on Sunday, February 23rd at 3 p.m. Luca and Michael also performed with the North Jersey Region Honors Band and Orchestra this past weekend. Also, the KHS Student Council received a Top 10 Project Award for Powder Puff at the 99th Annual NJASC Winter Convention at the College of New Jersey. Next, congratulations to Saloni Mittal for winning position on the 2025 NJASC State Board as an executive member for state charities. This is Kinnelon High School's 6th term with the NJASC since 2015, and the North Jersey Board is allowed to run every other year. Nextly, we'd also like to congratulate Dylan Castellano-Smith, Raina Fitterman, Anthony Manna, and Michaela Tobia for being selected for the NJ Region 1 Honor Choir, which represents all of New Jersey. They will perform in a concert with other students from the region on Saturday, February 1st. Also, we'd like to congratulate Sophia Ankner and Anthony Manna for their acceptance by audition to the Morris Area Honor Choir, which performed on January 18th. Today, we also had 12th grade students take the NJ Seal of Biliteracy Language Assessment for Spanish, French, and Hindi. Additional students will be taking Latin and Bengali tomorrow. We wish them luck on their results. That's all. Thank you.
Wow, that's it? You sure you don't have more to add? Impressive. Thank you, Saloni. All right, superintendent's update.
Thank you, Mrs. President, and welcome everybody. Saloni, congratulations. As you were going down the list, I was waiting, and I thought maybe I could kind of steal it in, but you did it. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations. Where's your mother and father? Are they here? They're not here tonight? Okay. All right. Well, for our folks here tonight that are here for our little ones at Kiel School for the honor, Saloni in the last 2 years is our second student. 2 out of 3 years where we've had students out of this building serve on the state board. So, kind of like, yes. I understand the sports talk earlier, but I'd be remiss. We just heard all of these accomplishments, K through 12. I understand sports, played them myself, still love them. But I would love to have a conversation with anybody, whoever wants to think about going somewhere else, because academically and the programs that we offer and that we will be offering out into the future that aren't even offered yet, those schools can't compete. So if we're under the guise about a D1 or a D2 position and what that might do, we're not, hey, God bless, go after it, parents have to parent, but we're here for school first. Athletics is the privilege. So with that, I'm going to ask Mrs. Olawale to come up first, because this is the best part of every meeting we have in public. It's honoring our students. I know our parents are here. So what we'll do when Mrs. Olawale is done, we're going to take a 10-minute recess, and we have everything outside for you to take pictures, as many of them as you'd like. And Mrs. Olawale, right now, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Mango. Thank you to our Board of Education for having me this evening. And to our families, thank you so much for coming out. We are so incredibly excited to be able to honor our amazing Kiel-Cisco students for all of their contributions and really just being incredible people. And thank you to that. Thank you to all of you for that and making it possible. So what we're going to do this evening is we're here to recognize our students at Kiel-Cisco for being great citizens. So these are our Kiel Koala Kindness Awards. And what we did was, during the school day in December, we recognized our students for being amazing, incredible people who routinely fulfill each of these qualities that I have presented up here this evening. So they come to school every day, present, ready to learn. They always are honest, right? Forthcoming, telling the truth, setting goals in their own learning, which, again, for young students at 5, 6, and 7 years old, that is incredible. And when there's a challenge or a hardship, they let go and they move on, again, after setting those goals. And last but not least, they care for themselves and for others. So again, thank you to our families for making this possible, for, again, entrusting us with your children every day. We are so excited to honor them and to honor you as a result for a job well done. So we're going to start with our kindergarten students who are here with us this evening. Oh, and I would be remiss if I didn't point out the fact that this is our photo that we all took together in December, so we'll share this out with our families. So these are all of our Kiel Koala Kindness winners with our school counselor, Miss Tinny, and I. Don't mind the PJs, it was pajama day. So it was a really fun one, but we took a nice picture. We'll share that out with families as well. And then there's an opportunity for a photo op at the end, as Mr. Mango explained a few minutes ago. So we are very excited. We will begin with kindergarten this evening. So to our students, when I call you up and say your name, come and join Mrs. O up here. This is going to be our stage tonight. You're going to stay with me for a few minutes, and then at the very end, once we're done with second grade, we will take photos outside in the main entranceway where there's a nice banner set up. So when I call your name, please come up, kindergarten. So first up, we have Gianna Alessandro. Gianna, are you here? Come on up. Congratulations, Gianna. And I'm passing out this evening, too, we have our Kiel Koala keychains, which is special for our students who get our Kiel Koala Kindness Award. So Gianna, just stay right here and you'll help me out. Next, we have up Scarlett Bassakar. Come on up, Scarlett. Congratulations. And next, we have Natalia Claro. Come on up, Natalia. Congratulations. We are so proud of our students. Next, we have Thomas Holman. Come on up, Thomas. All right, and next up, we have Braden McGrath. Braden, I saw you. Congratulations. Here you go, Braden. You're welcome. Next, we have May Mukdra. Come on up, May. Sophia Nopachai. Come on up, Sophia. Again, our amazing kindergartners. There you go, Sophia. Congratulations. And last but not least, we have Elise Peel. Elise Peel. So these are our amazing kindergarten Heel Koala Kindness Award winners. Amazing job. So if you guys can stay for us after, and we'll take a picture together, okay? You guys can take a seat. Amazing job, guys. Thank you. Go ahead and take a seat, and we'll call you back in a few. They're amazing, truly. Okay, and now we're up to first grade. So our first grade students, when I call your name, same thing as kindergarten set the bar for us. You're going to come up and we're going to recognize you as well. So first up, we have Addie Churto. Come on up, Addie. Congratulations. And next we have Ava Geyser. And next we have Emily Galino. And Blakelyn Remley. And Ian Taylor. Come on up, Ian. And Stella Wysocki. And last but not least, we have Nora Zlatkowski. Come on up, Nora. I knew I saw you there. And congratulations once again to our amazing first graders, our Heel Koala Kindness winners. Mrs. Lilley, thank you for coming. So nice, right? Such a nice surprise. So again, congratulations. You guys are amazing. We'll take a picture together after, okay? All right, go take a seat. We'll see you guys in a few minutes. Congratulations. And now we're up to second grade. So we have our amazing second graders who are here this evening as well. We are very excited to honor them. We'll start with Valentina Basio. Come on up, Valentina. Peter Curran. Come on up, Peter. Okay, and next up we have Vinny Nicosia. Come on up, Vinny. And Julie, you're welcome. And Juliana Ressa, see what I mean? Like such amazing manners. Such good kids. Congratulations. And last but not least, we have Charlotte Taylor. Come on up, Charlotte. Congratulations, Charlotte. So once again, congratulations. You're welcome, Charlotte. Congratulations to our amazing second grade Heel Koala Kindness winners. So again, we are so proud of our amazing students. Thank you all so much for everything you do. And at this time, as Mr. Mango said, I'm not sure if you have anything else, but we will go to a brief recess. So if we can have our kindergarten, first, and second grade students join us right outside the doorway there, we're going to take a nice picture together. So again, thank you all so much
You're
for
welcome
coming.
to come back and listen to the rest of the meeting if you would like. Otherwise, you can watch it online.
Congratulations again, everyone. All right.
And we will start with the district audit presentation. Does he have need to? What? Does he want to be at the podium? Yeah, what is you? Yeah. There we go, okay.
Good evening, everyone. It's my unfortunate privilege to follow kids. I was telling Barbara last week I was doing a presentation. I followed the Teachers of the Year. I'm not having great luck this year. But I'm here to talk about the 23-24 Kinnelon Board of Ed annual audit. I'm happy to be able to tell you that we've issued a clean opinion on the financial statements of the district for the year ended June 30th. I won't say it was our first year here. Barbara became the business administrator in, I guess, the end of January. So a lot of a portion of the year was already over. It wasn't without challenges, but I'm happy to say that together we were able to work through it. You've got some comments in the management report, some findings, a lot of which have already been corrected, a lot of which are compliance-oriented, signatures, processes. Barbara's changed a lot of things since she got here.
Yeah.
We know each other from her previous position in West Milford. My firm did the audit up there still do the audit there. And I'm happy to say that it went well. It's filed on time, uploaded with the state, no nasty emails from my friend Vince at the Department of Ed. And one of the highlights is during 23-24, you withdrew over $3 million from your capital reserve. Before June 30th, you were able to put back $2 million to replenish a lot of what was spent so that there is money in capital reserve to do more projects to keep the facilities up to where you need the facilities to be. With that, I'd entertain any questions from the board members. I'd also like to say Frank Pepe, I didn't recognize him, but he interned with my firm a long time ago. He's a lot younger than me, but it's over 20 years.
22 or 21 years ago.
So it's nice to see you and giving back on a board, giving back to the community. We taught you well. And again, any questions from any board members or anybody from the public?
I don't have any. Barbara did a good job explaining it to us in our committee meeting, so, yeah.
You're very lucky. You have somebody who's
Yeah.
been in the business for a very long time, who came into a hands-on situation and was very hands-on.
Yeah.
And she took care of a lot of different things that needed tweaking between when she got here and June 30th in order for the audit to go as smoothly as it did. And I'm sure she will continue to do that until such time as you find a full-time business administrator, and hopefully she can mentor that person for a period of time as to how to do the right things in this district.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Congratulations. Thank you.
3.5 months, 3.5 weeks.
We have the, Mr. Shivas, you're up.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Everybody, I hope you feel better, those that are not well. And Mr. Pepe, welcome to the board. I didn't get to meet you yet. I'm here tonight as the supervisor of special projects. I'm reporting on the school safety data systems, which is basically some of the more major events, I guess you can say, around the district for the last 6 months. Usually these occur mostly at the high school and the middle school, but just because of what they entail, such as substance and vandalism and violence. So usually the elementaries are not represented too well here, which is a good thing. So what you see up there right now are our totals from July 1 through December 31st. KHS had a total of 7 incidents. You can read across the board. I tried to make this as large as possible so that you could see it from your seats, because I know sometimes it's tough to see that board. They had 2 violence, 3 substance, 2 HIBs confirmed, and another one that was alleged. PRM had a total of 2 incidents, which was 2 HIBs confirmed. They did have 8 alleged, but they were not founded. And then you can see that Stony Brook had no problems whatsoever. Great job, Ms. Utel. And Kiel just had 1 little hiccup in the road, an HIB along the way. So this is a tremendous improvement from the previous report that I did the last 6 months. And if you look back at this slide, not to confuse everybody, this year's numbers, or this report's numbers, are on the left, and the report on the right, the number on the right is from the previous 6 months. So it'd be from January 1st through June 30th. So you can see the high school did go up by 2, but still in the same ballpark. For total incidents, they had a little more. I got it backwards. You're right. Excuse me. The right number is this reporting period. The left number is the previous reporting period. So the high school went down 2. PRM had a drastic improvement, went from 13 down to 2 incidents, which was kudos to Ms. Josephides and Mr. Mongan, who they went into each classroom at the beginning of the year, went over what HIBs were, what they can and can't say individually in small group environments, and then they did a follow-up with Ms. McLean as well, so the kids heard it twice, and it seems like it's resonating with the students as those numbers are way, way, way down. You can see Stony Brook still was 0 across the board, and Kiel had their 1. So overall, we're down from 23 incidents down to 10 as a district, which is phenomenal. And moving forward, we are in contact with the prosecutor's office and have them come in, present to the middle school and the high school on biased actions, biased language, and so forth, as that was the bulk of the HIBs previously. We've had a couple of problems getting them here on time so far this year, but it looks like now things are starting to open up. They only present twice a week when they're available, and then trying to work around holidays and whatnot, it's become a little more difficult, but it looks like we're going to get something for hopefully March, if not early April. Does anyone have any questions on the school safety data systems report? All right, thank you, everybody.
Hello, everybody. I'm Lauren Thomas, Director of Curriculum. I'm here to present our elective survey. So we recently conducted a survey for students in our district, grades 6 through 11. And this was initiated because at the end of last school year, we had a resignation in our industrial arts department. So that was a good time for us to gauge interest of the students and see, do we want to replace that position and continue on with that program, or did we want to use those funds into other areas, but we really wanted to engage the students. So we really wanted to include middle school students in that, and as you heard Mr. Mango speaking during Citizens Advisory, that is all part of our district goals, and we really want to expand programs and include middle schoolers, especially 8th graders, leading into the high school. So that was the reason for the survey. So just giving you a little bit of background information. So I'll take you to the responses, as you can see. And we did try, so when there was that resignation, we did attempt to hire somebody to replace that position. It was a short time frame. Unfortunately, we were unsuccessful. That's why this is kind of giving us, kind of an inclination of where we want to head to next. So these were the student responses, and we got a good amount for every grade level. So about 80% of the student population in every grade level, a little bit lower in 10th and 11th grade, but still more than half of the population responded. So this first question, students were given choices, and that's why you see all the wording down at the bottom. So the first question was just basically, what are you interested in? What sort of activities are you interested in? And these were the responses. So again, they were constructed responses. So you see our highest, everybody is passionate about the arts. We have a very good art program here, so we currently do run a lot of electives in art. They are also very interested in technology. So down at the bottom, if you can't see it, students are interested in coding, gaming, web design, esports. Life skills was a very big one. So across the board, whether they were middle school or high school, students are very interested in cooking. And again, industrial arts. So that still was something that students really value. So we will continue to look for that in the future. So overall, aside from a couple of multiple choice questions, we did have open-ended responses. So I summarized the open-ended responses, and that gave us a little more detailed information. So students expressed, basically overall, the trends were the top 4 subjects that they wanted to see in the high school. Definitely cooking. Students requested performing arts, psychology, and social sciences, so really expanding upon that. We do offer psychology, we offer sociology, but they are looking to expand upon that, so maybe more courses within the social sciences, and higher level courses within the social sciences, and also technology related. So students interested in the STEAM world are still very interested in that. So those were our top 4. And again, just summary results, overall trends, we are seeing a big interest on hands-on learning. We are seeing, again, the cooking came up a lot, budgeting, anything related to career skills, and that we saw especially as we went into the high school data. High school students are very interested in participating in electives that really will connect them with their career, their potential career path. So there's a notable demand, again, to align with the career skills, STEM education, as I mentioned, so engineering, science, technology, and math. Students are interested also in a variety of languages. That was also a question. Just posing a question to the students. We currently offer Spanish, French, and we do offer Latin at the high school. Are you okay with that? Would you like to see any of their options? So students basically said they would like a lot of options, and I'm used to that in any district I've been in. Students just want a lot of options. A lot of students are very interested in Italian. Students mentioned they were interested in ASL. So it was interesting to hear their perspectives and their interests. And again, the social sciences. So trends across grade levels. When we were in committee meeting and I was presenting this to our ed committee, Mrs. Portman posed a good question. She said, I was giving a general summary of the overall results, and she said I would really be interested in seeing the breakdown of middle school. What are the middle school students interested in versus high school? So there really was a clear distinction. So middle school kids, a lot of hands-on. They really want cooking, any hands-on activities, whether that's creative or productive, so basic industrial arts, anything like that, they're very interested in that. And then when you get to the high school level, as I mentioned before, definitely interested in anything related to a potential career path, so anything that would set them up for the future, and again, the science and the arts and social sciences. So this aligns, as Mr. Mango mentioned, I don't want to repeat everything he just mentioned in Citizens Advisory, but this does align directly with our district goals. So we are looking at student achievement. So how can we promote elective areas and course offerings for students across the board, middle school and high school? And we are looking at the overall student engagement. student retention. So we feel that if we can build upon these great programs that we already have and be able to offer more and then some, then we're on the right track. So this does involve a couple things. So where does that take us now? It involves a lot of decisions that we're all going to have to make. You heard Mr. Mango say there's plenty of space in the high school. So does that mean that eventually maybe we can house in some way the 8th graders within the high school, whether that be for some of the time, whether that be housed 100% of the time? We are looking to realign the times so that way we can also share staff. We have staff that's very willing to create more intro-level courses for our 8th graders at the middle school. That way, when they get to the high school, they can just continue progressing on in those areas. So we feel that we do have a lot of great opportunity here. And again, it's a lot of decisions that we're going to have to continue to make. But that's where we're headed towards the future. So like I said, creative solutions for the 8th graders and being able to build comprehensive programs in all of our areas. I was just talking with Mrs. Jexo before, we already have our art department. We had some shifts in personnel with our art department, and with the new personnel in place, they're already taking a look at current curriculum and taking a look at individual skills that some of our new staff brought in and how we can revise our curriculum, add on new courses, and really structure it in a way that'll benefit the students. So that's exciting. We need to maximize our current PCR, so that's our position control roster, which means that's every position listed in our district. And a lot of our teachers hold more than one certification. So if they are interested in something and we're very interested in running certain programs and they have that certification to match it, then why not utilize that staff member to their abilities and let them teach something that they're very passionate about teaching. So we are looking at that, and we'll have those conversations with those staff members. And again, industrial arts, culinary arts is something that we want to research, potential drama, theater. These are all things that we would really like to bring in. Our architect came last week, is coming again tomorrow to take a look at some classrooms to just research the potential of building a cooking class at the high school. So that does take a lot of time. That's not something that's going to happen in this upcoming school year, but potentially for the following school year if we're able to. Again, working with the board and taking a look at our budget and seeing if that's feasible or not. But again, that was a big request by the students. So if we can somehow make that happen, that would be great. Industrial arts, revising the curriculum. So we really would, since students are craving that hands-on experience, going back to that true woodworking experience. So making an intro-level woodworking and then woodworking 1, 2, 3, and 4. So students can really get into projects, get into bigger projects as they go along, apply it to real-life applications. So that's where we envision that program going. And it is a strong possibility to bring in a drama teacher. That does require a special certification, but we're excited to do that. Mrs. Trombetta and I are going to attend a couple job fairs coming up starting in February, and they run all throughout the winter and the spring. So we are signing up to attend a few where Mrs. Trombetta has had great success in the past in her previous district, but we're going to go out there and really try to recruit. So our job postings, anticipated job postings will go out. We'll be able to meet with teachers. Those 3 areas at the bottom are probably the most difficult areas to find certified teachers in, but we really want to put in the work, get the message out there, attend these job fairs. I think that's really getting ahead of it. So hopefully we'll be successful, and that way we can continue to build these great programs here. But I think that was all I had. Any questions, comments?
Thanks, Ms. Thomas.
All right, thank you.
Okay, we have committee reports next. Since Carl's not here, I will report on the Finance, Facilities, and Security meeting. We did meet on January 21st. We discussed the gym floor in Kinnelon High School. It's an ongoing issue with water underneath the gym floor, and what we're going to have to do is pay for engineering to do some core samples because we suspect, based on what we've been able to determine so far, it might just be water table levels and humidity that's just coming underneath the wood floor. So the next step is we've already discussed with the architect, and they're going to find an engineer to determine if they can figure out over the summer where the water's coming from. So it's an ongoing issue. We're hoping that an environmental engineering firm can help us with a solution, but we can't replace the gym floor until we figure out why there's water underneath it. Because it's already been replaced in 2017, and it's already it's warping again. We do know it's safe to play on, that we know, but at some point it's going to have to be fixed. So it's an ongoing issue. Stand by for more. There was a room in KHS that needed to be repaired, and it's being repaired by our facility staff, which is great. On the agenda, you will see that we're recommending the approval of a lease agreement for a new bus. We reviewed the assessment of busing for KHS and PRM, and the having to add buses or vans to possibly be able to bus both schools at the same time, and the availability of drivers and buses. But we are recommending a lease agreement, which allows us to extend the payment of the bus over 5 years. Is it a 5-year agreement? Three-year agreement. Okay. On the agenda, you'll see we reviewed the preschool tuition and enrollment. We're looking to add 2 seats because we had a wait list. And we're going to increase the tuition to $1,200 per month, which is still less than other preschools in the area. And that's on the agenda for approval, and the committee is recommending. And that was the rest of the stuff we talked about was just the stuff you've already heard, the cell phone cell phone survey results, stuff that's going to be briefed in education. And that was it for finance. Personnel and negotiations. John?
Hi. So this is a new committee for me, and it's off the ground already. We had our first meeting January 22nd, and in addition to a lot of the things that we've already heard and talked about, especially with the surveys with electives, and then needing to find positions on the roster to potentially cover those or plan for the future. We also discussed the recruitment and attendance, and that's a great idea to go out and hit the job fairs, and just put it out there that hey, we're looking for some good folks. Also discussed the pre-K and some of the paraprofessionals that would be needed for that, and also just the existing population. Nothing real exciting. We had planned to have our first negotiations, and that was yesterday. We ended up not. So that's and I don't have the actual date on there, but we'll be advised. So.
Okay, thanks, Jonathan. Education, Kelly?
Sure. So the Education and Student Activities Committee met on Wednesday, January 22nd. We talked about starting conversations to have a partnership with the gym in Bloomingdale to kind of support the town recreation programs, the middle school, the high school, for girls basketball and girls soccer, just doing off-season clinics and some training and conditioning. I think that's a great idea. So we also talked about setting up some lacrosse netting. Currently, there's like a little bit of a hole, and we were trying to figure out how to kind of best meet that need because we want to be able to use the track and the turf at the same time. So we were able to find some netting that we believe we can purchase 4 of them and set it up in the spring, pop it down in the winter, and it's really going to meet the needs and make the students as safe as possible. We just finalized a 2-year contract for the co-op for the softball program. We're going to be having a KHS home game this year, which is great, and there'll be 2 coaches. The head coach will be from Lakeland Regional High School, and then we will have a volunteer here. And also, we have a team room proposal. Right now at Kinnelon High School, we have a team room, but it's really just being utilized by the boys football, boys lacrosse. So we had the opportunity to create a second room that'll be more for the girls, which they were able to just repurpose a space. And they were even thinking about getting the art students to make a wall mural and just making it really great for the girls to have their own space before, in the middle of and after games. We also talked about the preschool and how we had allocated spots for the special ed students, allocated spots for the general education students, wanting to make it the least restrictive environment for our special ed students. And this year, we just filled up all our general education spots, not all our special education spots, so we're gonna kind of flip that a little bit next year. And then hopefully we'll be able to maximize the space and maximize the profit, which will fund the program and kind of give a little bit more robustness to it. So PRM is going to be having a new special ed program, which is wonderful. We have 3 students within multiple grades, but in one grade band, kind of moving up, so we're preparing for that. We also talked about how there are some job fairs coming up, some virtual, some in person. We really want to make sure that we're getting ahead of finding the teachers that we need. And so we're going to be doing it through New Jersey School Jobs. We're also going to be doing it through TCNJ. So we're going to be there right after their graduation to try to get all their great graduates. We talked about the cell phone survey results. We submitted an application for a computer science grant, so we're keeping our fingers crossed. We're going to hear more about that in the spring. We currently have a problem at the high school with a lot of the overhead projectors. Different parts to them are breaking, and it's really hard to find the parts. If we're able to find the parts, it takes a long time to get them. They're expensive. So we are going to be trialing a program where we get new hardware, and then we have to pay for the software. And the software comes up in a subscription, and it's run through the hardware. So we're going to be doing that for the next 2 months, seeing if we like it. So that's a program called Vivi, but we're also going to be looking at Airtame too. There was a mind and body class that was offered to students at the high school in terms of an elective this past fall, and it was the kids really, really liked it. So we're going to be offering it again in the spring, but we talked about next year, maybe in gym class, giving the kids different areas where they could kind of check in and making it more of like an every single day during gym class possibility, because the kids really did like it. We talked about the elective survey results and just the possibility of moving some parent-teacher conferences in the future depending on what teacher feedback we get. We also talked about having a delayed opening when we have testing in the high school. So the grades that have to test will come in on time, and then the grades that don't have to test will have a 2-hour delay. Everybody will get transportation to school, and then this way it will just provide the most efficient way for the students to cycle through the day. We also talked about the potential of the aligning of the 8th grade, the PRM to KHS schedule. And that was it. Busy meeting.
Yeah, sounds like you guys did a lot.
We did.
Okay, policy?
Okay, I'll take policy. All right, I'm good. So before I begin, I just want to welcome and congratulate once again Mr. Pepe for this is like the true meeting outside of the reorg, so welcome. And in policy, as you'll see under the D section tonight, we discussed a few items. Number 3 was basically more or less second and final reading from policies that were up for revision and first reading approval in December, and I wanted to thank Mrs. Davidman for the classroom observation one. You did a really nice job in putting that together on a short time frame in November for board approval in December, and now final approval here tonight. If you move down to section 4, or number 4, 4A, all of those policies were just revisions and aligned with law enforcement under the memorandum of agreement and understanding, so that's standard. 4B was to align the Community Relations Committee in policy 9151. And then as you move further down, we had 2 policies specific, 9151 and policy 0164. 9151 was community relations and culture. And what we found was that policy was created by the then superintendent, business administrator, and board in 2010. So typically, board policies are generated from a firm called Strauss Esme, which we use. And before Strauss Esme was in vogue, it was New Jersey School Boards. So my office contacted both. Neither one of them created the policy, but it was pretty well written, and we determined in the committee we were going to move a few sentences at the back end about, penal codes if somebody's uncivil or we ask somebody to leave. There's no need for that. But we wanted to keep it on the book. So that's up for revision. And then the other policy, PO 0164, there was part of there for remote meetings. So obviously, we're down 2 members tonight. Could have been more. We had concern about a quorum because of all the sickness that's going around. And I hate to use the term COVID, but not everything was as negative. And so I had shared with the board that I'd like to walk it on tonight, which it is on for first reading revision, that board members would be able to participate in public meetings if they were remote. So we could avoid having to possibly cancel meetings and allow people to have that opportunity. So those are both up. 2 policies that were up for revision. One's new and one not new. And I touched on it in CAC that we didn't discuss tonight, that's not on the agenda, is the use of cell phones and devices. We're going to hold off on that until we have a better idea where we're steering with the cell phone information and survey and trending forward. And then the other one, it's a new one, no surprise to anybody, AI. So the State Department has created a draft proposal for AI, and that's a little bit more in depth. I think it certainly involves our administrative team, because kind of like HIB in 2011, now they're recommending districts have an AI coordinator and a series of steps and things, and it's just another, it's another thing that school districts will be responsible for, of course not funded by the state. So we want to take our time with that on how we, maneuver. And in part of policy, even though it's not part of our committee, Mrs. Utel, I have to say something, because you were like a perfect 100% again. Not that I'm knocking everybody else, because I didn't get to the middle school just yet, but I have to say, that's a 4. Again, a 4, you and your staff. So the security drill and this, I have to give you the 4. I don't know how you and your staff did that, especially when parents make phone calls and request HIB, but you did it. That's amazing. I'm floored. I'm floored sitting here tonight. Absolutely amazing. So thank you. You and your staff, fantastic job. And Mr. Mongan and Mrs. Josephides, congratulations on, I know we did a lot with code of conduct. I know not all of it's popular. I know that it's not easy to bring on a new AP, and I know coming in from another district, Mrs. Josephides, it's certainly not easy to be the person who delivers the message to parents and to students. But we heard our staff, we partnered with our staff, and all I'll tell the 2 of you is now, A, you have to keep doing what you're doing, and B, don't ever second guess yourself. You just do what you do. You cut out any kind of noise, whether it's in an email, whether it's in a phone call, or in the shadows of the corners of the school outside. You just do your job, okay? Good job. Thank you. And that concludes my report in lieu of Mr. Myers, Mrs. President.
All right. Okay, delegates, since it's the first meeting of the year, we're going to bypass this because not only has everybody been sick, but most of the delegates haven't even, associations haven't met. All right, community relations, we just had a meeting, so that's kind of not really something I think we need to report out. And the same with K-CARES and KEF. Okay, so we have petitions and hearings of citizens for agenda items. Does anybody have anything they want to ask on the agenda? Yeah, come on. You come on up so we can hear you.
That's AI and devices.
When do those have to be settled? Which board meeting do those have to be? When do they have
well, we would want to have them handled appropriately by the end of this school year, for sure.
Yeah, there's no actual requirement anywhere. I mean, I don't know about the AI. Is there actual date yet?
They didn't say
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
yet, but, I think all districts need a little bit of time to
Yeah.
process that and really,
I mean, the sooner we can get it worked out, and be ahead of it, and then we're not under any kind of time pressure and think through it for the AI portion. The cell phone is board-driven, so it's when we're ready. Yeah. So we would like, it's a goal to have it established by the next school year, so we'd like to meet our goals. So, yeah. Thanks for the question. Yeah.
that's okay.
I just want to say thank you for having Mr. Souls as the advisor. He does amazing things for these kids. Everyone talks about Kinnelon Bubble, Food Pantry, Reach Across America, Night to Shine. I cannot say enough good things about him and his program and the things he does for the students.
Thank you, Mrs. Ferretti. Oh, and just before we kind of go off, we discussed in central office today because we realized there was a hit. So as Mrs. Thomas was talking about the surveys, we're going to do another tri-forum, which will happen in May. It'll be Mrs. Davidman, Mrs. Trombetta, Mrs. Thomas, myself, and I'm sure some of the building principals this time, and some of our department chairs will also be part of it. So after all the smoke clears with our budget and facilities and where we're going, then it'll be about all those programs clearly explained and defined to our parents in a standalone meeting, not a board meeting, not a community relations or citizens advisory, just a standalone tri-forum again. And we'll live stream that like we did last year, so that'll be in May, for sure.
Okay, now we're up to agenda items, and I would like a motion for a roll call on a block vote for agenda items A, B, C, and D. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Okay. So discussion on agenda items A, B, C, and D. And please take your time to review, and we'll discuss any questions. Barbara, could you just kind of for public edification and board edification, just discuss the outdated checks and kind of what those mean?
Certainly. As a result of the audit, when the auditors went through the unreconciled checks, there were a number of stale checks that dated back to 2 school years. So normally, banks will not accept a check that's more than 6 months old. So we're just trying to clean everything up. And so the board has to approve any checks that are stale dated, so that we can take them from our reconciliations and move forward. If someone, finds a check in the drawer and says, oh my God, I never cashed this, then we'll do some investigation. We'll reissue a new check. It's happened in the past, but infrequently. So that's what that's for.
So these checks weren't cashed, and they just stale?
Not cashed.
Yeah, and we've reconciled them as, yeah, right, yeah.
Reconciled, so.
Okay, wow, some of them for a lot of money.
So they're considered stale checks.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Anybody else have any other questions on the agenda? For A, B, C, or D? Nope.
The Meet of Champions? No, that's to participate. Yeah. We talked about it, but we didn't extend, no. If you'd like us to, we could put that on. Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, all right, seeing none. Barbara, will you pull the board, please?
Perella? Yes. Mr. Pepe?
Yes.
Mr. Eisenmanger?
Yes.
And Mrs. Donaldson?
Yes. Okay, Committee of the Whole, we have none. Does anybody have any unfinished business? No? New business? No? Correspondence? What's that?
If we're
Speak closer? Okay. Okay. All right, make sure you talk into the mic. Okay, petition and hearings of citizens for non-agenda items. Does anybody have anything that you just want to come up and tell us, like how awesome we are? No, just kidding. No, okay. Had to throw that out there. Board member comments. All right, let's not make Frank go first. So, Kelly?
I just wanted to say congrats to all our Kiel Koala Kindness winners tonight. I think it just builds everybody up when we see those cute little faces and the pride that they have, and it just makes them feel really connected to the community, so I love that. I just wanted to thank everybody for taking the time to read their email and fill out the data that we've been asking for. Tonight we had a lot of data to process and share with you, and that's because we captured a lot. So I want to thank the parents for filling out the cell phone survey. We had over 630 families. That's amazing. I also want to thank the students at PRM and KHS because I know they're inundated with emails, but they took the time to fill out the elective emails. And thank you for that. And the immediate reward for that positive behavior is that there's immediate administration response on that. Like tonight, we not only relayed back to you what we found out, but we have people going to job fairs to try to get teachers in specific areas. We have electives being brought in. We're talking to people about construction at the high school to change things. So this data really guides our process and kind of helps us figure out what the community and the stakeholders want. So I just wanted to thank you so much for giving us that data so that we can represent you as best as possible in the schools. So everybody stay healthy and have a good night. Bye-bye.
Dana?
I'm gonna show Frank how it's done, short and sweet. But no, I really do send out my best wishes for everybody and your families because everybody's been taken out by whatever is going around. So I'm gonna keep it short and sweet and be respectful of everybody's time and just to reiterate all of the wonderful things Solani, when she read through all of the accomplishments of the different schools, and I think it's really great. So, Happy New Year, and everybody rest up.
Frank, do you want to say anything? You don't have to if you don't want to.
I'll give it a shot. John was egging me on before. Just kind of three things from my end. I want to echo what both Dave and Dana said. Everything that Solani presented was absolutely amazing. I think it's a testament to the diversity of programs that we offer in Kinnelon and the diversity of programs that our kids are engaging with. So spectacular work therein. Two, I'd like to give a compliment to Mr. Shivas as well as all the school principals. As much as I don't know about being on the Board of Ed yet, I do understand kind of numbers and trends. If you're tracking anything and you're going from 23 to 10, you're looking at a 70% reduction in a lot of those instances. That also reduces administrative burden, cost, and drives operational efficiency. So continue to be proactive in everything that you're doing therein. And last, Barbara, great work on the audit. It was nice to get a shout out there for finance and accounting.
John?
Yeah, as a CPA, I was happy that we got an unmodified opinion and some things to work on, but that's, hey, I'd rather know what to do than to be shooting in the dark. So keep it up. And thank you for the staff, too, that helps with all that, because it's more than any one person could ever do. Also didn't want to let the Frozen production go unmentioned. A lot of fun, a lot of energy, a lot of talented little kids, including an Olaf. And to put that up on the list of, things for the future, to develop a program, because, we need one. And that's exciting. So everybody drink some honey and lemon before bed.
Okay, so I know a lot of people heard me when I was talking at the end of the Citizen Advisory Committee about athletics, but we have been very successful across the board in so many sports, it ebbs and flows, but for a small group one school, and we are a small group one school, we've been very successful. And then you add the changes we've done with our administration, our realignment of staff, and the opportunities that we just keep creating, it just is getting better and better. And we're just doing more for our kids in so many different ways. I don't know why you wouldn't want your kids to graduate from Kinnelon, because it's just got so many amazing opportunities. And if there's something you want, there's a citizen advisory committee, there's emails. If there's something you want to communicate with us, our information's on the public website. Please reach out. We're all about ideas. We do surveys. To Kelly's point, thank you for participating, because it informs our decision-making, because we represent you. And again, as I always say, the administration and the board, I thank you all for all your work, because there's a lot of work, as Dave says all the time, that goes on behind the scenes. And it's not, and again, it's informed by our community. So come, speak up, email. We're here to listen. Dave?
I'm just real happy that we haven't used, is my mic working right? Am I good? Okay. I'm just really happy we haven't used an emergency day yet. And so I'm very happy about everything that everybody said here at the table. You've heard me talk. I don't want to beat a dead horse. I agree with what everybody's talking about. And I would love to have more conversations on anybody with any parent anywhere if they second guess our high school and our programs. I would just venture to say, give it a little bit of time and see what more we can do. But as far as the emergency days, the school calendar for next year, Mrs. Suffin, who's still here, thank you for staying. We're working with the association, and hopefully we'll have a proposed draft for approval for next month, for next school year. And we just have a lot of good stuff coming out. So a lot of energy, a lot of discussion, a lot of meetings, a lot of work, but that's why you elect board members, and that's why their job is to hire a super, and my job to hire the most qualified people to steer the district. So all those mechanisms, whether it's surveys, meetings, emails, conversations, hard conversations, they have to happen because they're a mechanism and a vehicle to steer. And I'm just really excited. So I hope everybody is well. I know we have a board retreat Saturday. Hopefully everybody stays healthy enough that we're not, a little coughing on each other in the morning. And have a good night, everyone.
Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
All right, all in favor? All right.